Hello Trade Pros, it's Victoria from Trade Pro Academy yet again with another video for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how we can use the volume profile to get more precise entries when trading the futures market. Now, these concepts are very simple in a grand scheme of things, but applying them might take some practice. So just keep that in mind. We've done a lot of videos on volume profiles. We talked about distributions, ledges, but we're going to keep beating this horse to death because it is one of the staples that we use here at Trade Pro Academy. So if you guys are excited about this video, I want you guys to smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and tell us in the comments down below, are you using volume profiles? Are you using them now more so than ever since you've been watching our videos? Let us know, and let's get right into this intro. We talked a lot about the basic of volume profile, so I'm just going to drop a link in the description about that main video that I think you guys should check out, because we're going to be focused on two different things in terms of the explanation part, and then we're going to dive right into the meat and the potatoes of this video. So check that link down below and let's start. Now, the volume profile, when we're talking about precision in terms of entries and where we can find those key levels within 2 points of the futures, we are going to be talking mainly about two things: distributions. We love distributions, and ledges, volume profile ledges. So I want to show you guys a few images and just break down these ledges and distributions a little more so we can understand those core concepts before we actually take a look at some of these examples and take a look at exactly what we're looking for in the specificity of these entries. A distribution in a volume profile is considered like a belly, quote unquote. It's an area where, as you'll see here, we have multiple high volume nodes that stack together that make this like protruding type volume profile area that is an attractant, right? Because volume attracts price, and price moves into areas of thicker volume. So when we have those areas, price would want to maintain this distribution block, which what we call is balance or fair value. If we consider that in terms of auction theory, fair value is where is the most volume, and then unfair value or imbalance is where there's lower volume. Now, these distributions are actually sandwiched by two things, right? On either end of them is going to be a ledge, a shelf, a volume profile shelf or ledge. It's where the high volume node drops off into a low volume node. And you can see that the low volume node then starts its own little divot where there's another distribution on the other side, right? It goes from distribution to distribution, and in between are these very low volume profile areas, and those ledges are what kind of sandwiches those distributions. You can think of them as value area highs and lows even. Now, what we're doing when we talk about precision in terms of entries and futures is understanding where these key ledges actually lie to actually stop price from either getting outside of a distribution or imbalance, or staying back within that distribution or keeping balance. So we want to understand exactly where these ledges are and how we can draw them and find between 1 to 2 points of error where our entry could be. So I want to show you an image here of the S&P before we kind of look at it more on a granular level. We'll take a look at this image, and we've split it up in between 3 different distribution blocks, right? You'll see them, they're very clear. The top one is from 388 to about 3930. The middle one is about 3840. The middle one is about 3840 all the way down to 3795. And the last one is 3795 down to 3744. So these are massive, massive errors. And if we understand just these 6 levels, we can have a lot of potential opportunity in the market, and we can actually price in our entries about 1 to 2 points away from these levels to be more precise. So you can see here they're divided by these yellow boxes, and we'll see the top distribution, the bottom distribution, and then the middle distribution. So each one of these areas, you can see how we have a very fat belly on the volume profile that kind of encloses price in those areas. And you'll notice multiple tests of each of these levels actually holding out, right? For example, at the top, the first distribution, the highest one, we're holding 388s extremely well, right? We pop out of that 3930 a few times, but over the grand scheme of things, we've seen that it's been tested multiple times. When we dive into a closer example, we'll take a look at that. But you can see right here that each of these levels either holds a massive rejection or multiple different rotations. So why don't we take a look at this on a more granular level and see how precise exactly these entries are and what the opportunity may be in these entries. So let's take a look at that. So let's take a look at this on TradingView here. I would highly recommend using Sierra charts for futures trading, but this is just, it's a better visual. It's more simple in this sense, but we're just using this for a general purpose rather than actually taking the trades on TradingView. I'd much rather Sierra charts. What I've done here is on the screen, I've actually broken it up into 3 different pieces. I've only color coded one of the blocks differently so we can actually see it and make the differential between these distribution blocks. So let's see the precision of these ledges and how they work. Now, I should also mention, you can find really precise entries throughout these volume profiles, but this is only step number 1 of the whole futures trading process, right? You would need something like order flow to really, really nitpick at that precision and see where those sellers or buyers come in. That's where the DOM comes in. If you haven't checked out our DOM video, I highly recommend go checking that out. You combine these two and you can create a disgustingly good futures trading plan. So let's take a look at this. So here's our distribution block to the top end, right? We got the top end of this distribution block at that 30 area, right? 30 area, the highest we go is about 36 here, so about 6 points. So the precision is not that crazy, but we finally fail there and drop a decent 18-point move. Same thing, we actually escape into the balance here at the top and we hold these 30s and run about 9 points. Now, 9 points might not seem like a lot, but keep that in mind. On one S&P 500 contract, that's about $450, right? Look how well the 30 holds here. We get back into the distribution. The highs of these moves, right? Some of these highs are literally 30 on the dot, right? 31 and a little more, right? 29.75, and they drop very significantly about 35 points from these areas. Again, same thing here. We get these moves into 30, 31, they drop a decent bit, right? They drop 15, 10 handles. So we come back into the bottom of this and we're looking for the 85s, right? The low end of the move here is about 86. So, and then 85.75. So off just by a bit. And even here, right, these 85s are trading for these gradual aggressive moves. If we still use this distribution block, you can see the lows of these moves here, 84s, 82s, right? These are the low ends of the moves. Now, if you have to 85, it's only a 2-3 point difference for a really, really strong 10 to 15 point move. 10 points being about $500 on the S&P. 15 points, right? We have 750 there. 20 points is a $1,000 move per contract. If we take a look at the distribution in the middle, right, we have this 40 area. What do we trade? We trade 40 exactly, 39s, right? And then we get this very, very strong 40-point move. So what we've done is with these distribution blocks and ledges actually have really squeezed the precision down to about 3, maybe max 4 points, 2 to 4 points on a higher end. We can also really drop that down when we bring in order flow and the DOM. Same thing to the downside here, right? The low end of the move is about 41 from the 44 area. Great. Down here, it's about 44. Down here, it's 44, right? Before we get these massive aggressive moves to the upside. So the point being here is when we look at this chart, we're off by like 2 to 3 points, right? For the most part. And we're risking maybe max 4 points for a 10, 20, 15, 30, 40 handle move, right? So the R&R is even at sometimes a 10 to 1 when we've dropped down the precision and when we've really, really synced into where these key distributions and ledges are. So it's very simple to find them in a sense, right? If we look back at this video really quickly, we have these massive ledges that really drop off here. You can see from a high volume node into a low volume node. Now, if we use something like Sierra chart, for example, you can find even more precise areas, right, depending on the contracts you're trading. So I highly recommend even looking at TradingView and Sierra charts and getting acquainted with the DOM to really identify those precise moves based on volume profiles. So just like that, we found more precise entries for futures contracts, especially on the S&P 500, using the volume profile and distributions. All we have to know is understand distribution theory and understand how we can draw our ledges and our levels based on those ledges. Final piece of the puzzle, you plug in the DOM, some depth of market, order flow trading, and you've got an even better entry. So precision with volume profiles is no joke. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot. If you want to learn more, check us out at our website, even at our free Discord, community.tradeproacademy.com. And on our website, we have a futures masterclass that I think everyone should take a look at, where we talk about order flow stuff. And then in our community, a lot of volume profile stuff if you want those clean entries and also directionality. How do you know where the market's going? Well, the volume profile can give you a hint in that. If you want to see that video, drop a comment down below. What else do you want to know about the volume profile? Tell me, do you use the volume profile now more than ever, or what? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.